is a perfect diplomat. Balance of opposites. Kapisha, Vayuputra, Sankatamochana, Mahavira, not just known for his strength, but is known for his brain power, his wisdom. When you live by the first three names, Hanuman, Anjanasunu, Vayuputra, you become automatically a Mahabala. Why Hanumanji is the perfect archetype or model? This is Valmiki's own creation in Ramayana. We even said that it could very well be his own life story. That we have several instances of mixture of human and animal archetypes, notable being Narasimha, Ganesha, and Hanumanji. Why Hanuman's day has been dedicated or designated as Tuesday and Saturday. Most people are unconsciously adopting the Duryodhana archetype. I will say the mantra again and I will explain. It is Vayuputra talks about our pranamaya kosha. There are 5 pranas inside us. To get to these 4 goals, Vedanta has prescribed yoga. There are 3 types of yoga that our entire Vedanta talks about. Astrologically, what Mars stands for. Mars is a cruel planet. Cruelty. Mars represents our karma action. The minute you are born on earth, you have to engage in karma. Because in the beginning I said, we are the only one who can solve our problems. Nobody can solve it for us. And we will understand when we do Sankat Mochana Ashtakam, Mahavir he's called. Courage. Veera is a warrior who has courage. It's not that people are born with courage. It has to be cultivated. To be a spiritual warrior, you need 5 kinds of courage. With the lessening of religious rituals, this modern world, we have completely forgotten that the power of brahmacharya, vrat, austerity, that is to control our instinctual animal nature. That whole Ramayana, they've said, if you can't say Ram, the simplest word, say Mara, kill, and you will still be connected because it's the opposite of Rama, 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 Rama. These 2 planets are very peculiar and their astrological alignment in your birth chart is misplaced. You are in for misery, my friends. He is balance of opposites. 2 murtis of Hanumanji you'll see. Either he is that Shakti, flying through the air with that Gada and the mountain, or he is sitting at the feet of Ram. Shakti and Bhakti, this is the 2 things, the 2 major things we have to focus on in these 7 sessions, how to develop Shakti and Bhakti through karma. Namaste and welcome to the 4th session of Sri Hanuman Upasana Mind Mastery Workshop. So let's start with the chanting. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vedvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now we'll do the Hanuman Dvadasanam. Om Hanumana Anjanisunu Vayuputra Mahavala Rameshta Phalguna Sakha Pingaksha Amita Vikrama Udhadhi Kramanaschaiva Sita Soka Vinasaka Lakshmana Pranadata Dasa Grivasya Darpaha. So now let's go back to, I'll take a minute to, even though we talked about a very important question that Shilpa raised last time, that, between Duryodhan and Hanuman, if God is doing everything, if the higher self is doing everything, then, what's the difference? The difference is that we have to we cannot pick and choose, because if you look at the archetypes of Hanuman and Arjuna, whenever they had a problem, they tapped in to their higher self, and whatever guidance and direction they got, they just did it. It's not but why, none of those things. Whereas many times in Mahabharata, Krishna went, and many other gurus and enlightened persons tried to guide Duryodhana, and when it did not suit him, he would not listen. So we cannot, you cannot sometimes follow classical physics and sometimes quantum physics. You either follow follow classical physics or you follow quantum physics. You cannot mix the two and stand in front of the train and say it should not hit me because I'm spirit. That's not how it works. So that is the Duryodhana, always blaming, not taking the power back, whereas Hanuman did not know, but once he was reminded, he never said but. That but never came in his mind. Tell me, Lord. And whatever direction he got, he followed, whether it was his parents, his guru, his God, his Lord, whoever it was. So that is the difference we need to understand. And also need to understand one aspect. Our willpower, which is what we are talking about, mastering our will, our mind, there are 3 stages that we have to build it through, make it grow. And the first stage is when we are born, our willpower is influenced and impacted by our family and our community and our tribe. What they believe, we believe. As we grow a little older, we start, our willpower is shaped by one-on-one relationships. First our friends, then our spouse, and then our peers. Then comes a time, if you develop, keep working on yourself, where you say, I don't care what my community thinks or my tribe thinks, my one-on-one relationship, what they think. It's me, what I think is right. That comes up to your Manipura chakra, your power chakra. And then once you come to the Anahata chakra, you realize that there is a divine irony. You have no will. You are a puppet and everything is being played, but you go along with the play. You don't start making additions to the script. Then when the good thing comes, you say, this is God's prasad, a gift from God. Without question, I'm going to accept. That does not mean you don't keep working on yourself and doing everything, because that is why that action image is given, that Phalguna Sakha. Always you have to act, work on improving yourself. But at the back of your mind, you should know that it is all divine plan, divine timing. Everything is as it should be. And not only as it should be, this is the perfect way it is unfolding. So that is the difference between Hanuman and Duryodhana archetype. Then Janaki had asked a very nice question, that we constantly go body, mind, intellect, body, mind, intellect. Why, when we start the Dwadasanam, we start with Hanuman, the intellect first? Very good question. Because if you live at the body level, it is an instinctual living. Your body is pre-programmed. It cannot decide anything different. It's an animalistic living. And your mind just likes pleasure and avoids pain. The difference between prayas and shreyas, doing the the pleasurable thing rather than the thing that is good for you. So that also will not help you. So you have to start, any kind of change has to start from the intellect, because the intellect is the one that determines right from wrong, good from bad. This is what we are doing, that we have understood that we have a monkey mind and we need to train it. So the intellect can train it. Also, there's in the Vedanta, they have many principles. A very important principle is called the Ahi Musika Nyaya. Ahi is the snake, Musika is a mouse, and Nyaya is the principle. So how they explain it is, these snake charmers, they catch a snake and they put them in a bag, and for all kinds of entertainment. And then every day they give a mouse, feed the snake with a mouse so that it will stay alive. Now, after a while, the snake wants to escape. So what does the snake do? The snake makes a deal with the mouse and say, look, help me cut this bag and both of us will escape. And the silly mouse says, yeah, great idea. And he cuts the thing and the snake eats the mouse and leaves. So you use your intellect to grow your ego, because at the animal level, instinctual level, body level, there is no right and wrong. You pre-program, same thing, hamster in a cage. But you need your ego to bring it from a tamas, ignorance, inertia, body consciousness, to a rajas, mind consciousness, pleasure. After a while, you take it to the intellect, the transcendence level. So you have to go from instinctual to intentional to transcendence. But you need your ego. Only your ego can tell you, don't live in this animal existence. So that is why when you start something, you cannot start at the body level. Body does not have that intelligence. And in Hanuman Chalisa, they talk about that also. So that is why because of the Ahimusika Nyaya, we start with the intellect first. So last session, we understood that we have to master our body, Anjani Sunyu, mind, which is Vayuputra, and intellect, which is Hanuman. And also we have to start to work on and all three yogas. We have to participate in all three yogas or bring it into our life to be a perfect yogi, because only a perfect yogi will have a perfect body and perfect mind, mastery over the mind. And yoga we described as connecting our lower self to a higher self. And then we went through the yogas. But when we go through the yogas, you have to start with the Bhakti Yoga first, which is the Rameshta we talked about, where we control our mind by, devotion to a higher cause, to a bigger power. Because you must, before you start any journey, you look at your resources, and you call in your highest resource, which is the divine force, that supreme consciousness that is operating and orchestrating everything. So that is why when we go to the yogas, there is Bhakti Yoga, then Karma Yoga, because you have to work continuously. We have to work, so we have to perfect our Karma Yoga, and then we have to also work on a Jnana Yoga, because Gyan doesn't come easily to everybody, but Bhakti is very easy, and Karma you have no choice. So we talked about, in the Bhakti Yoga, we said we control our mind through absolute faith, and we everything that happens to us, that you experience, you take it as prasad, like a gift from God, without questioning it, and you follow through, and you always say, Lord, your will is being done, not will be done, is being done. Help me, it is difficult, help me, tell me, show me, guide me. And then also to understand that mastering the body, mind, and intellect will make you a Mahabala. Even human beings, without connecting to God, you can become a Mahabala. A lot of Arnold Schwarzenegger, there are so many other people, some form of mastery we have. And Hanumanji was a Mahabala before he met Ram, before he connected to his higher self and a higher cause. He became Amita Vikrama only after he became a perfect yogi, which is Bhakti Yogi, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. So to get Amita Vikrama, that is the ability to perform boundless acts, many things that you never thought possible, you have to call in these three, not just body, mind, and intellect. Although these are in the area of body, mind, and intellect. What is Bhakti Yoga? Controlling your mind through emotions, love for God. And what is Karma Yoga? Controlling your body. What is Jnana Yoga? Controlling your intellect. So it's the same thing, but the order has changed. When you have Mahabala, then you start with Bhakti, call in the big guns, do your work, no matter what, do not resist. And because whatever you resist will persist. And then you keep continuously trying to upgrade your information, how to know more, how to understand that I cannot be this limited body, mind, and intellect. So many people and scriptures are talking otherwise. Let me find out how. And also we told how these yogas can be, in short, what is Karma Yoga? Reduce the number of thoughts, the distraction, make it focused like laser. That is Karma Yoga. What is Bhakti Yoga? Increase the quality of your thoughts. So always think, if I'm doing this for my higher self, for Lord Ram or Lord Jesus or Allah, whoever it is, what would I do? I would give my best, like we do in special ceremonies, in church, in temple. We offer our best. Likewise, when you think of God and you connect to Rameshta, you have to give your best. So increase the quality of your thoughts. And what is Jnana Yoga? Redirect your thought, which is what we do. Hanuman, we are redirecting. I'm not this monkey mind. I'm not this limited mind, body, and intellect. I am something bigger. Somebody has told me, my gurus, the scriptures, my religion have told me I'm bigger than this small, little, limited body, mind, and intellect. So then we talked about those three things. Bhakti Yoga was Rameshta. Karma Yoga is detached action. No, you don't do your work with an eye to the rewards, to the name and fame. And so many instances we talked where Hanumanji, look at him, this archetype who can swallow the sun, who can cross the ocean, who can fly with a mountain, is happy being a doorkeeper outside Ram's temple. to say that your ego, it's not that you don't try to make yourself the best, but no need to advertise it, no need to seek validation outside. That doesn't mean you're happy with whatever God is giving. That is Duryodhana. Whatever is happening. Whatever I want, I'll work for it. What doesn't feel good, I drop it. No, you're constantly perfecting yourself at the body level, mind level, intellect level, but you are happy being a doorkeeper outside Ram. That is such a fantastic powers, but he's never ever advertised it. Far from advertising. Whenever he thought that it would bother somebody, like the Valmiki question, the Valmiki Ramayana thing, when Valmiki was devastated after reading Hanuman's Ramayana and say, who will read my Ramayana? He goes and throws it into the ocean. He said, nobody needs to know this. This is my experience. Let everybody read Valmiki's Ramayana. We may not achieve that level of detachment at this stage, but that is a goal. That is the goal to go towards. So the humility, to bring in the humility. Then we talked about ahankara, English we call it ego. And I read somewhere which is like edged God out beautifully. God being that I am connected to everything, the unity principle. So ahankara means the form of me, mine, myself, I. That is ahankara, nothing else. Just that, that need to be an individual separate from the universe. That is ahankara. That doership, I am doing this, I am doing this, I am enjoying this, I need this, I'm entitled to this, I. And Hanumanji never outstepped his authority, because his mother Anjuna asked him, remember that, why didn't you kill Ravana and get Sita? And he said, that was not my authority. I was not born to do that, to get name for myself. Ram has a purpose. He had to kill many other demons. If I had just killed Ravana and kidnapped Sita, that would not have solved the reason why that avatar was incarnated. So he never outstepped his authority. Neither did he ever use up. Sugriva was much weaker than Hanuman, but he never outstepped his authority and take over his kingdom. To understand that once you know your swadharma, why you are here, what you meant to do, what makes your heart sing and makes you feel expanded, and you just follow that. Not try to be, if you're not a king, trying to be a king. Hanuman was never a king. He didn't try to be a king. So that was, we talked about Rameshtha and we talked about Phalguna Sakha. And then, so some of the qualities now that we have been talking about in different names is that Hanuman, in mind mastery, we need to always try to increase our strength. That is why if somebody tells us you can do this, don't doubt it. Why did they say it? They've seen something in me. Then the curiosity, the way he went when he was serving Sugriva to find out who are these two, Ram and Lakshman, why are they here? That curiosity. Or when he was looking through the pearl, where is Ram? Where is Ram? That curiosity has to be there. Otherwise we'll be dull-witted. We cannot master our mind. Then the intelligence to know everything is impermanent. We cannot possess anybody or anything. So, to do that karma yoga, detached action, do it because you're meant to do it. What will come, you take it as prasad. Then the excellent communicator, great diplomat, well-spoken words, and all that goes under intelligence. We have to groom ourselves to always improve our language, our communication skills, our diplomacy skills. Then the selflessness, to throw away that his own Ramayana, not trying to get name and look at me, how great I am, look at me. That part he sublimated completely. Then the humility part of it, what not he could accomplish, but always saying my first identity is Ramaduta Rameshwar. I did not say I who crossed the ocean, I who flew with the mountain, I who could swallow the sun. Those things he did not advertise. Other people spoke about it. He did not have the need to speak about that. Then the discipline, the brahmacharya part, very important, which, with the lessening of religious rituals, this modern world, we have completely forgotten that the power of brahmacharya, vrat, austerity, any kind of penance, and that is to control our instinctual animal nature, because our instinctual nature is towards food. We have two basic instincts, food and sex and power. In the animal kingdom, that's what it is. So to control that, brahmacharya is required. And finally, devotion, because you need ego to come out the instinct into the intentional, but then you need to sublimate that ego. For that, you need devotion. You have to find personal, a power that inspires you, that is far bigger than your mind can ever understand, and hook onto it. Put your anchors onto that power and leave it to them, to him or it, or whatever you call that. So that's what we discussed last time. Now we'll move on to Amita Vikrama. Okay, before we, no, I will talk about this one later. Let me finish it as we had planned. So finally, now today's thing is Udhadi Kramanaschaiva. Udhadi is ocean. Kramana is, an act of action. He crossed, he jumped over. Kramanaschaiva. Now, what is so important about jumping over an ocean? Ocean represents our emotions. And in fact, when we talk about the in the Vedantic philosophy, they talk about the world of objects as vishayas, and the ocean represents that because it is endless. How many things can you enjoy through your eyes? Endless. How many things can you enjoy through your ears? Endless. Smell, endless. Taste, endless. Skin, endless. So think about it. There are 5 major oceans in the world: Atlantic, Pacific, Arctic, Antarctic, and Indian Ocean. How it can't just be a coincidence that they're talking about these oceans. Each of this sense organ is like an ocean. And originally there were 4 oceans. Then finally they added that Antarctic Ocean and made it 5 oceans. And lo behold, if you go to Kathopanishad, when you see that imagery of the chariot, which describes our body, mind, intellect, senses, there are only 4 horses. Because 2 senses are actually joined together. Skin and taste, tongue, are more or less the same. The tongue is like an extension of the skin. But be that as it may, there are 5 oceans, meaning 5 oceans of objects that you could get lost in, meaning that enjoyment. And you will never, but you have to cross those oceans. And if you're not able to cross those oceans, vishayas become visha, which is poison. And that is exactly what happened when Hanumanji jumped the ocean. When first everybody looked at it and said, it's impossible to conquer the world of sense gratification. Hanumanji said, I can. Somebody reminded him. He also thought he couldn't do it. Jambavan came and told him, you can do it. And then he did not doubt. When he leaped, he had to, before he reached the other shore on Lanka, there were 3 tests he had to pass. First one was called the Surasa. There were 3 demons he had to tackle with. And the Surasa demon is, this demoness who had got a boon from the power, the gods, that nobody can cross that ocean without going in and out of her mouth. And the minute they went into her mouth, she would eat them and they never survive. So nobody could ever actually go to Lanka. But what Hanumanji is begged her and said, please, I'm here on the Lord's work. Let me go. On the way back, you can eat me. She said, no, that won't happen. My boon is you have to go through in and out of my mouth. So what Hanumanji did is, and this is where we have to understand that he used his brain and brawn all the time. He was very shrewd. He was not a naive, innocent fool that, only good things I'll do. Whatever is required to do the Lord's work, he would do. So he started using this Mahima principle, expanded and expanded. It became huge. And that Surasa demon also kept becoming huge. And then suddenly he used his anima powers, became like a fly, went in and out and said, I went in and out of your mouth. So the demoness agreed that, yes, you have outwitted me. You have my permission and my blessings, go. So what it tells us is when we start on this journey of introspection, reflection, and dealing with our shadow work, we will have to face with this, when to give in, when to not, when to use your brain, when to use your brawn. You'll have to deal with those kind of things. When to talk, when not to talk. Then he meets somebody called Simhika. Simhika is a demoness who is in the ocean floor. Nobody can see her, but she catches her prey by their shadow. When Hanumanji was crossing and assumed a huge form, so there was a huge shadow, and so she kept pulling him down, and he felt this tremendous gravitational pull that was pulling him down towards the ocean. And he realized that very quickly, that he's in the jaws of Simika, this demoness, and no matter how much she begged with her, she said no, and she had him trapped in the jaws. What Before she could release the digestive juices to kill him, what he did, he squeezed her heart, and she died, and he burst out of her stomach. These are very symbolic meaning, because when we do this kind of reflection, introspection, meditation, we will not know, we'll be blindsided by our shadow sides. We don't know what is pulling us down, why we are not able to go forward, what is this fear, what is this insecurity, what is this disbelief, what is this lack of faith. You don't know, because these are the vasanas, these are the imprints from many lifetimes. And what you have to do is, you just have to go to the heart of the matter and negate it, and break free from the stomach means again the same thing, that from the root cause. Mind is not the root, and we'll explain. I will go into that little bit later in one of the other names. So you break free from your shadow work, these shadow qualities. You want to be good, but sometimes every now and then you see a jealousy pop up, you see insecurity pop up, you see you want to be calm, and you're calm and calm and calm, and boom, suddenly one anger comes, and you don't know where it came from. You thought you had worked on it. This is the Simika problems. Then comes the Mainaka. Just as he was reaching the Lanka shores, this demoness comes, and she's a good demon, and she said, you look so tired, you are on the Lord's work. In Lanka, there's a lot of work to do. Why don't you rest? Just a little bit of rest. I have beautiful plants and fruits and flowers. You eat, take a shower, and then go. He said, thank you very much, but no, I have a job to do, and I cannot rest right now. For us also, whenever we do meditation, and you're in the penultimate stage, even if you do meditation, you do japa meditation, like chanting, any spiritual work you do, if you've told yourself 40 days, you'll see around 30-35 days there will be something that will break it. Something, you have to go to a party, something unavoidable, and it's not a bad thing. It's almost like, oh, I have to do this, and you have to guard yourself. When you're looking for mind mastery, focus has to be laser focus. That is why Phalguna Sakha, like Arjuna, all he could see was the eye of the bird. Later on, you can have fun, but what you're supposed to do now, you have gone to do something. In between, you can't go and say, I'm tired, let me get some coffee, let me get up and get something to eat, let me go and see if the postman has come. That kind of thing will not work in spiritual practices. So, Udhadi Kramanashchava, this is what, when you decide to go to to reach that Dasagrivasa Darpaha, that final stage, you have to first be willing to do the Udhadi Kramanashchaivas. Your gurus or people will tell you it's possible. You can meditate, you can chant, you can listen to scriptural talks like this. You have to do it, and you will have to avoid what? First of all, you have to avoid having a strict, this is the only way to do it. Sometimes you have to do this, sometimes you have to do that. Somehow you'll have to find the time to get it. You have said, I'll do it at 10 o'clock, doesn't happen, 11 o'clock you'll do it. That, you have to adjust in the beginning. That's why he became big and small and went in and out, but he was out of there. Second, in the middle of it, there will be some unseen, unknown tendencies that will, shadow qualities that will pull you down. You have to go to the root of the matter and annihilate it there. There is no negotiation. Let me think about it. None of that. Third is, you will want to rest and relax and say, oh, it's enough. Today I can take a break. Even though I've said 40 days, 36 days, if I take one break, nothing will happen. No, the whole thing will break. You'll have to start all over again. So these three things you need for mind mastery. For whatever it is, not just spiritual. You want to study for something, you want to achieve something, whatever you've set the goal, until you finish it, don't take a break. So then comes Lakshmana Pranadata. No, sorry. Sita Soka Vinashaka. When you are able to do that, sit in meditation time after time, because it's a long journey. You will go to Sita is our body in short, but you have to understand, in Vedic philosophy, there is a super soul and there's an individual soul. And there are many ways of but I'm simplifying it. Sita is the individual soul, Ram is the super soul. And these two are together, except they get separated when delusion, illusions, greed, and attachment comes, which is what? So when she saw that golden deer, and she knows there's no such thing as a golden deer, such an erudite woman, such an educated woman, still fell for it. Not only that, she did not listen to Lakshmana, even though Lakshmana has been so devotional. She suspected his motives and sent him away, meaning the intellect. So when we do all these things, the individual soul gets disconnected from the super soul. And what happens? You get pulled away, kidnapped to Lanka, which is a trap. It's in the completely beyond your control, beyond your control of your mind and your intellect. And so we need superhuman strength to reach that place. And once you reach, it's a golden cage. That's how, if you cater and pander to your bodily pleasures and mental pleasures, you will find yourself in a Lanka-like situation, surrounded by demons who don't know any limitations, any boundaries. Just eat as much as they want to, take anybody's wife that they feel like eating, kill anybody that they feel like killing, because there's no rules, no boundaries there. And it is very important to understand that Sita was sitting in Ashoka Vatika. Soka is misery and suffering. Ashoka, where she had, once she realized her mistake, she realized that the only way to get out of it is to Ram, 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 connect with my higher self, connect with the super soul. And only way you can do is chant. That whole Ramayana, they've said, if you can't say Ram, the simplest word, say Mara, kill, and you will still be connected, because it's the opposite of Ram, Mara, 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 Mara. And that's all she was doing. And because of that, she was surrounded by Ashoka. Nobody could attack, hurt her or kill her. And she was sitting at the bottom of a tree. Now, the bottom of the tree, the trunk of the tree, is our spine. That represents the spinal, the chakra system. That we are at the very bottom, Mooladhara, where it is only about stability and security and fear. And we have to somehow climb all the way through all those 7 chakras, and Ram is sitting at the crown chakra to meet there. And Hanuman is the breath and the mind that we can bring to tell us that there is hope. Don't worry, we can do this. And what is the hope? Just Ram. You have to trust and have faith and continue to do what you have to do, but you have to tie into your, or grab hold of this higher force, something bigger than yourself. You have to believe, because if you lack faith, then it'll be very difficult to do these jobs, to kill the ahankara. So in this case, Hanumanji came as a guru, because when the super soul and the individual soul are separated, the gurus, the teachers come and they tell you, no, you are the same. This is the method. Concentrate, focus, spend time meditating, spend time chanting. And imagine that he came from the north, normally from the Himalayas, they say. And in the same case with Lakshmana also, he came as a guru. So he came, brought news of Ram, like a guru does, that there is this super soul, there is this supreme consciousness. Don't worry, it is coming here to save you. You just have faith. So he came as a guru, and he how does the guru give us this suffering soul hope? By singing hymns of the supreme consciousness of your higher self. That's what we have to do when you feel completely helpless, that you're trapped in Lanka, surrounded by demons. Nothing else you can do, just do Ram, 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 or whoever is your personal deity. Ram, the word itself holds a lot of power, but you're not only limited to that. Any higher power you believe in, with whichever name you call, that will get you out of there. That's all. At that point, you have no other power. You have already lost everything. All the road signs, last U-turn to USA, U-turn to USA, you have missed. When they say last U-turn to USA, you missed and went to Mexico, that's it. You are going to be there until somebody comes to get you back from there. So basically, when you find yourself in a place you can't come back, you have lost all power, you just have to sit down and keep calling the US Embassy. That's it. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. I mean, I'm joking, of course, but what I'm saying is, sometimes you have nothing left. You have your intellect, you have exhausted, your mind, you have exhausted. All you have to do is faith. And that is why Rameshwar was the first one, because miracles happen. Logic and intellect will never give you miracles, but faith, there is n number of examples that will get you out of a situation. Just saying, God, it's between you and me now. I completely give up. I'm here. I made a mistake. I don't know how to get out of this hellhole. Get me out of here. So that is Sita Soka Vinashaka. He comes as a guru. And whenever we find ourselves in this situation, many people will come, not just a spiritual guru, your parents, your friends, your best, somebody will say, do this, go to the temple, or sit down and chant, do some meditation, do some donation, listen to them. If you don't listen and don't do it, it'll be very difficult to, we cannot reverse our state. So that is, the Sita Shoka Vinashaka, that sometimes you find yourself in such situations that you have nothing, no education, no intellect, no mind, no science can save you, like a dreaded terminal disease. What intellect can do then? What mind can do then, other than just saying, you are my last hope? So that is what it says. There will come a time when we will have to pull in this one also. Then comes Lakshmana Pranadata Dasagrivasa Lakshmana Pranadata. Now, Lakshmana, you have to understand, if Ram is the super soul, Sita is the individual soul or the body, Hanuman is the breath that connects the body with the mind, and with the spirit. Hanuman is the breath and the mind. Hanuman and the Vayuputra both indicate that they are the breath and they are also the mind controlled. Lakshmana is our intellect, the ability, our awareness. And if you know, in Ramayana, when they were exiled, Lakshmana said, for 14 years, I will not sleep a wink. Now, it's not possible for any human being not to sleep for 14 years. What it means is, going into the forest means it's an inward journey. You've left the known shores, you've left the comfort, you're going in search of yourself, the hero's journey. You have your intellect, your awareness has to be constantly open, constantly aware. And what happens is, sometimes, even though for 14 years you have kept your awareness awake, towards the last, and if you read the books about big enlightened sages like Buddha, the moments before he got enlightenment, final one attack comes from Mara, that Maya, who comes and says, there is no, you are going to die, this is a myth, nothing will happen, there is no such thing as enlightenment. But Buddha had reached that stage where he said, I know you, Mara, I'm not going to give in. And that's when you get enlightenment. This is the same thing. Who did, Lakshmana, what happened to him? He became unconscious because Ravana's son, Indrajit, his name is Indrajit and Meghnad. Indrajit means somebody who conquered Indra. And who is Indra? Indra is one who conquered the Indriyas. Indriyas are our senses, eyes, nose, ears, our sense organs, that the ones, the instruments that crave pleasure. A person who can control the Indriyas is called Indra. That's why he's called the king of the gods. To that person, Indrajit has conquered. That means he's brought it down back to square one. There's 360 degrees. You start at 0, you go to 180, which is Indra, and Indrajit conquers him and brings it down. So there are certain vasanas, certain impressions from past lifetimes, certain tendencies in us. No matter what you do, they will fight till the very end. And that is what happens. Indrajit could actually become invisible and he would be like a cloud. Nobody could see him, neither Ram nor Lakshman. Those are the tendencies they're talking about that you don't even know. And they will make you unconscious, meaning what? Your awareness you will lose. And that is when Hanuman goes to Himalaya. Himalaya is where all the gurus are. In those days, when they have to give you a symbolism, when they talk about mountain, is always where somebody goes to get wisdom, whether it is Moses, whether it is anybody else. All the leaders, they go to, all the enlightened spiritual masters go to the mountain. And in Vedic philosophy, Himalaya stands for Vedic philosophy, Vedic wisdom. So he could have gone to any mountain. No, they said you have to go to Himalayas and get it from there and give it. So he again comes as a guru. When our awareness is not working, we are not seeing what is right and wrong. We've worked so hard, come so close, penultimate state, the 11th hour, we're willing to give up because we failed. It doesn't work. There's no such thing as God. Nothing works. I'm going to lose. I'm going to die. I'm going to lose everything. That's when, again, one guru will come, either a spiritual master or a family member or a stranger who will come and tell you that, no, there are some things you can do. We have to be alert to those things, and that will revive Lakshmana. Lakshmana Pranadata, that awareness that had died, had become unconscious, will be revived with Sanjivani, Mritta Sanjivani. That is the ability to become alive again. And when that, how do you do that? At the end of every day, or at the end of a meditation session, basically end of every day, if you inculcate this practice into your life, you use you assign a portion of your intellect, your ability to observe, being aware of being aware, and watch a parade of your thoughts throughout the day. What happened, major events. And let me tell you, in the Buddhist book of the death, Bardo, they talk about this, that at the end, when you die, when the body falls away, and before you go on to the other realms, there is this period where you actually do like a quick review of your life. So you must practice that every day in your life. What went in the whole day, and detach, not right and wrong, good and bad, and see what kind of thoughts did I have today. Jealous thought, angry thoughts, fearful thoughts, guilty thoughts, shameful thoughts. What was the majority content of my thought? That is, you have to revive your Lakshmana. Your guru has told you, you've listened to this. This is your guru. Hanumanji archetype is your guru. And tonight when you sleep, think 5 minutes before you sleep. The whole day, what should flash before your eyes? And what did I think? What was the dominant thought? Hope, expansion, or negativity, contraction? And if it is negativity, what kind of negativity? And how do we then, after you do that, it's like when we go to a place and we take a video of the, at that point you're not editing, you're just taking the video. Then you come home and you look at the video and say, oh, I don't like this one, I'll take this off. Oh, this doesn't look good. That's what you do at the end of the day. And that is what, based on some philosophy principle like this or anything else, you can use to first detect the negative thoughts. Then you negate. Say, no, I don't want this. I choose not to believe this. It's just a thought. I'm not my thought. This is a negative thought from some lifetime. It has come. I choose not to believe this. Then you substitute, because there is no vacuum in the energy field, in the spiritual world. I choose instead to believe this. Like if you have a terminal disease and you say, oh, I think I'm going to die. The doctors cannot help me. Then you say, oh my God, I have a negative thought. No. I choose not to believe that. I choose to believe miracles happen and I'm perfect, whole, and complete. That is called substitution. So you detect, you negate, you substitute, and what was the other thing? You introspect. First, you introspect, that you put a guard and order a parade of your thoughts. Then you detect. This is negative, this is negative, this is negative. Then you negate. No, I choose not to believe this. I choose not to believe this. And then you substitute. I choose instead to believe the exact opposite of that. So that is what you do when you're invoking Lakshmana Pranadata. Who has told me something positive, something that gives me hope? Or if nobody has told, let me read something. Let me find out that something that will bring me hope. It could be a friend, it could be a parent, it could be a person in the office, or it could be a spiritual guru. And you do this at night, every night, parade of thoughts, introspect, detect, negate, and substitute. So that is what you do to Lakshmana Pranadata Dasa. Then we are going to do Dasa Grivasya Darpaha. Dasa is 10, Griva is neck, the one that supports 10 heads. Darpa is pride, Ha is Hanan, to destroy pride. Destroy the pride of the 10 heads. And this 10-headed demon is entrenched, very strong. Nobody could defeat Ravana. And that is why the special Rudra avatar had to be created to defeat him. And these 10 heads have been variously described as the 5 sense organs. And then you have the 4 kinds of mind: Manas, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankar. And I'll explain that. I just said it, Manas. We just say mind, but mind has 4 categories. Manas, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankar. And the Jivatma, that is holding it together. Or we can talk about it in terms of Kama, Krodha. Kama is desire, Krodha, when you don't get what you want, Krodha, anger. Or Lobha, Moha, greed. If you don't get it, you have attachment. Mada, Matsarya, if you have it, you have pride. If you don't have it, you have jealousy. Then you have manas, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. It's very important to understand these four parts of the mind, because when we are talking about mind mastery, you have to understand these four parts. Manas is actually our common mind, the thoughts that keep coming and going, same thoughts coming and going throughout the day, throughout your lifetime. It is like if you think about a subway station and the trains come and the trains go and the trains come and the trains go, that is your mind. Same kind of thoughts. If you actually sit and watch, you'll realize 90% of your thoughts are repeat thoughts. Manas, buddhi. Buddhi is your intellect, your ability to detect, okay, this is a good thought, this is a bad thought, this is a dangerous thought, this is a pleasurable thought, to identify, to discriminate, to discern. That is your capacity, is called buddhi. Manas, buddhi, chitta, I will explain in a while. Ahankar is the form of me. When you identify with these thoughts, my body, my house, my family, that myness, that I am different from the universe, that is the ahankara. Chitta is the actual consciousness, the sentience that allows you to be aware. That is the one that drives everything. So there are four levels, and in the waking state, where if you don't do anything, manas is always there. Buddhi, some people have lower level buddhi, some people have higher level buddhi, depending on how much you have sharpened your intellect. Then ahankara is there with everybody, and the whole job of this Hanuman upasana and mind mastery is how to sublimate that ahankara, to become Rameshta. Rama is my Ishta. I am nothing, but he is all in all. That one. And chitta, there's nothing to do about it. It is your consciousness. That is the one that is enabling us to actually interact. It is the power that enables you to be aware of being aware. Because animals are not aware of being aware. We alone are. That chitta is there. So that, when finally everything was over and Ram came to kill Ravana, he kept shooting one arrow after another, one arrow after another. One head would go, another head would pop up, another head would go, another head would pop up. And he just was tired at the end of it. He said, how do I finish this 10-headed demon? Finally, Vibhishana, Ravana's brother, came and told him the secret about to kill Ravana is you have to shoot the arrow, the most powerful arrow you have, Brahmastra or whatever astra you have, Rudrastra, at his navel. And think about it. Why would he say in that Shastra, they say, shoot it at the navel? Because when you are born, what is your first point of contact with the physical world and the world of matter and physicality and ahankara? It is that placenta and the umbilical cord. That is our gut. In fact, even in Japanese culture, when they do harakiri, because it's your subconscious is contained in that navel. That is the Manipura, that is the center of shame. Shame is connected with ahankara. Ahankara actually comes from there, that mindness, my individual, me and mine. So you have to go to the root of your physical and material existence and cut that out. Otherwise, the ahankara won't go. You cannot destroy a tree by cutting the branches and the trunks and the leaves. You have to uproot. The root is where we were attached to the placenta by the umbilical cord. So that concept that I am an individual human being in this limited body, limited mind, you have to go to the root of it and say, no, I am not this limited body. I'm not this limited mind. I'm not this limited intellect. And how do you do that? That is the Gyan Yoga. The intellect has to be sharpened. That is the Pingaksha. And there are, Pingaksha, remember, yellowish red eyes, that means fire. Fire translates to wisdom. How? Fire, the quality of fire, two qualities: purifies and rises up. No matter how you hold fire, it will never go down. The flames will always go up. So fire helps us to purify and take essence. And there are three kinds of fire that you need to be aware of. One is inside our body. One is called the Kamagni, the fire of desire, lust. That is at the bottom. That is at the body level. Then you have the Jatagni, which is at the navel, the digestive fire. Whatever food you put in that fire, if it's not there, it will not digest. As people start dying and dying and dying in the old age, they can't adjust food. They can't eat too much food because that Jatagni is becoming less. And like we talked in Vayuputra, it's not just food, the ability to digest information. And finally, Chittagni. This is the third eye. Once you digest that information to make it go to the intellect and available for you to do this. So how do we do? When we look at a fire, when we light a lamp, we visualize taking Kamagni, taking our desires, our lower level desires, whatever they may. God, I want this small little cheap things. Become aware of it, and you put it into fire. Then it comes into the Jatagni, where it comes refined. Your intellect will tell you. You will get the answer if you really want it, that this is what you need to do. So from the desires will come the actual information, not just data. And that will go to your intellect, Chittagni. That will become the information that you can actually use to raise your awareness and your consciousness. Only then can you destroy this Dasagrivasa Darpaha. So you start with Hanuman, your intellect. You will use the Ahimusika. You will use your intellect, your ego, to bring you out of instinctual animalistic living to intentional living, and then finally to transcendental, to go beyond. And you end up with Dasagrivasa Darpaha. So at first, when you bring your intellect, then you will purify your body, treat it like a temple by doing vrat, brahmacharya, controlling the senses. Then you go to the Vayuputra, bring attention to your energy body and your mind, and how to take in information, how to digest it, how to make it available to every part of your life, how to help it grow. And then you go to, you become a Mahabhala, which is mastery over body, mind, and intellect. Then you go to the yogas, Bhakti Yoga. You have to first and foremost, before you start on any mastery program, far less mind mastery, you have to connect with a higher power, with faith. Then you start doing the work with detachment to name and fame. That is Karma Yoga. You have to do everything as if it is a prasad, a gift from God, and do your work. There's no way you will not do your work. So that is after Rameshtha is what? Phalguna Sakha, your Karma Yoga. You have to continuously work. Control your mind with detached action. First is control your mind with devotion, great devotion. Then control your mind with detached action. Then control your mind with intellectual awareness, reflection, meditation. That is Gyan Yoga, which is Pingaksha. That will make you Amita Vikramaha, will help you to do things that you never thought was possible. Amita, boundless acts of valor. Then you have to do that final thing. You have to cross that Vishaya, that ocean of suffering, of objects, the world, the outside world. You have to go inward, turn inward, and like the 5 oceans, the 5 sense organs, you have to close them, go inward. And you will face these 3 challenges, the Surasa, where at first you don't know what to do. You'll have to figure out everything in your toolbox of spiritual thing you'll have to use. Then you will have to meet Simhika, where you don't know what's pulling you down. You just have to get to it and say, nope, negate, I gotta cut it. No, wasting time trying to figure out what the hell it is. Then will come Mainika, where you feel like resting, taking a break. Bahut ho gaya, it's okay. No, you cannot master your mind in anything. Even in Olympics, you can't just the day before say, I've done enough, now I'll eat, drink, and do whatever I feel like just before the competition. We can't do that. Then when you go there, you will know Sita Soka Vinaska. What is the cause of your problem? Where is it arising? What thoughts are giving rise to these delusional pain and thing? And then you will do Lakshmana Pranadata. You will reawaken, rejuvenate your awareness. You will put it as a sentry, order a parade of your thoughts. You will introspect. You will detect negative thoughts, you'll negate negative thoughts, and you will substitute with positive thoughts. Then you will finally be given a chance to destroy the 10-headed demon that we are. And you cannot destroy it by, oh, today I will work on anger. Oh, today I will work on jealousy. Oh, today I will work on attachment. That's not, another 100 attachments will come. You go to the navel, the nabhi, and in the human body, what is the center of the human body? When you study art, you'll know the navel is the human body. That is the exact halfway point between your top part and your bottom part. So the bottom part is animalistic. The top part is, from navel down is animalistic. From navel to your throat is your mental, your human. From the throat upwards is your higher chakras, is your spiritual. So you have to go to the root that I am not this limited body, mind, and intellect. And the more you try, you have to, just saying it is not going to work. You'll have to put in the time like this, and on your own, and going to other place. You have to be curious to learn more. Okay, people are saying I'm not limited. So how do I find out I'm unlimited? What practices can I do to find out I'm unlimited? So that is the only way you can destroy Dasa Grivasa Darpaha. So again, Hanumana, Anjane Sunu, Vayu Putra, Mahabala, Rameshta, Falguna Sakha, Pingaksha, Amita Vikramaha, Udadhikramanashchaiva, Sita Soka Vinasaka, Lakshmana Pranadata, Dasa Grivasya Darpaha. So the bookend is you start with your intellect, controlling your ego. You end up with the other bookend, which is Dasa Grivasya Darpaha. In between, control over body, control over mind, control over intellect. Then Anjani Sunyu, Vayuputra, Mahabala. That will make you strong. But then you go into Bhakti Yoga, some form of devotion to a higher power beyond this, human power. Then comes Karma Yoga. You have to continuously act. Don't wait for anybody to save you or give you a solution or find a way out for you. You yourself, you put yourself in there, you'll have to get yourself out of wherever you find yourself in. Then comes the Pingaksha, constantly learning more, spending more time in any field, in your work, in your personal life, spiritual life, every field, you have to continuously invest in learning more. Then comes that you have to take that step, that Udadhikramanashchaiva is spend time introspection, meditation, reflection. While you do that, you will meet those three asuras, Surasa, Simhika, and Mainika. When you are able to conquer them, you will reach Lanka. You will actually get an answer. What is your cause of your problem? That is the Sita Soka Vinasaka. What is the cause of the pain of this individual soul that is suffering so much? You will get the answers. And then how do you, after knowing the answer, you have to do something about it. That is, you will rejuvenate your awareness, Lakshmana, which was temporarily fallen unconscious. And after that, you will shoot. You cannot one by one deal with the heads. You go to the root cause. I am not this limited body, mind, and intellect. Finish. That's the end of story. You hit at the navel point, and that's the end of Ravana. So that's what in Mind Mastery, we are easier said than done, but reminding ourselves, small steps. Now, that's what I had to say. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to take them now.
That was just amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This was great. Made total sense.
When you were saying that at the end of the 12 Tharavan, we will know. So I actually can see that. It's like we started, I was all getting confused, but thank you so much.
You're welcome, Anu. And we will continue to discuss this even when we do the other things, because it's all ultimately, first it feels like a soup, alphabet soup. Then suddenly you will learn that, individual alphabets, I can actually make it work for me. And the more you spend time thinking about this, the more it will come together. Janu, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I'm sorry I joined late, Mita, but I want to know if you answered that question about the body, mind, intellect.
I did. You can go to the recording and watch it, but I will just, because you come here, I will say that because I didn't answer on that thing. To bring any change, only the intellect can bring a change. At the body level, it is an instinctual living. It's a pre-programmed animalistic. Body cannot bring about change. It's pre-programmed. And mind always seeks pleasure. It's only the intellect that says enough. I want to see change. So any change can only be triggered and driven by the intellect, cannot be driven by the body. That's why when you start, it has to be with the intellect. And thereafter, it is the entire complex is body, mind, and intellect. But any change has to come from the intellect, because body is like an animal. Animals don't change anything because it's pre-programmed. And the mind always wants to revel in pleasures. It will not want any change. It's only the intellect. It says this is not working. Enough is enough. Let's do something about it. So any change will always come from your intellect, never come from your mind or your body.
Thank you.
Any other question anybody has?
I don't need to Devi here.
Yes, Devi, I think Abha is asking, then I'll get back to you. Yes, Abha.
So when you were talking of the 10 heads, you said the 5 are the senses and 4 are minds. What's the 10th?
It is the individual jiva.
What does that mean?
The person, the combination of the body, mind, and ahankara is just the feeling of mindness, right? That jiva can be jivan mukti also. It need not feel that way. Like Hanuman is a jiva, but he doesn't have ahankar.
Okay.
So when we kill Ravana, something has to, that jiva won't die ultimately, but these other elements will die. So these, and there are many ways to, they slice it many different ways. Different books will tell you there are the 4 Vedas and the 6 Shastras. So it doesn't matter. When we are talking about it, the 4 Vedas and the 6 Shastras, what they're saying is, he was very jnani. He was a Vidyavan. He was very intellectual. Where do you think his ahankar came from? His ego came from? Because he could control the gods, the 3 worlds. He could control the solar system, all the planets. Sometimes too much knowledge creates Ravana. But he did not have that attachment. He thought he was a great devotee of Shiva, but even while he was giving to Shiva, he said, here, I'm giving you 1 head, here, another head. Did you ever hear Hanuman saying, here, I'm doing this for you. I jumped the ocean for you. I carried the mountain for you. I never came in Hanuman's mouth. Whereas in Ravan, it was I did this, I do that. The sun and the moon and the 9 planets are scared of me, and I'm this and I'm that. The I was very strong in Ravana. Yes, Devi, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I just cannot be amazed by the fact that mind, it's all in the mind. Mind controls everything. The way your body reacts, the way the universe, it's such a powerful tool. And if you're able to control that, then, miracles happen.
Absolutely. And then this is not a conjecture. This has been proven for thousands of years, even today. And mind mastery, whether modern world or you go to the ancient world, everything, it's your best friend and it's your worst enemy. And most of us live in the level of manas, maybe going to, intellect and coming back, buddhi. We are not aware of our ahankara and certainly not aware of our chitta. That chitta is that consciousness, the sentience that allows us to even have this conversation, to want to be a better person. And that is the one that goes from a lifetime to lifetime, because the mana, buddhi, and ahankara falls. The chitta goes, that collected memory goes from lifetime to lifetime. And we can purify that, and that someday we will talk about this imagery of Vishnu sleeping on an ocean. Why Shiva sits on a Kailasa up there, and Vishnu is in an ocean sitting on a bed of snake, and Shiva has snake around his neck? Because this Vishaya is the world, the external world of objects. And when you start on this journey and say neti, 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 not this, not this, not this, not this, not the supreme, this is not me, this is not me, this, then you come to Seshanaga, the end. And beyond that is Narayana. Narayana is the perfect being, or in our mind, perfected idea. And you have to but negate, neti, 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 go through this 5 oceans and say, not this, not this, I'm not this, I'm not this. Then you reach Seshanaga, the Sesha, the end. And then beyond that is Narayana. So that, and Shiva is Narayana is the heart, because all our emotions are in the heart. And heart, water represents emotion, whereas Shiva represents our thoughts, and mountain, wisdom. He's sitting on a mountain far away, detached from the world, because mind can be a sword. Mind can mercilessly cut. We say, right? Pen is mightier than the sword. The mind is the intellect. Shiva is intellect. So he can be very, very Rudra. Vishnu is not Rudra. Emotions, always. He's in everything. And one other thing, do we have time? Okay, I'll take few extra minutes if you want to explain this concept of Shiva and Vishnu. They both represent 9. In the numbers, a numerical system, 9 indicates the God principle. 3 is the Jiva, 6 is the mother, and 9 is the God. Why? Because when you multiply 9 with any number, what happens? It ultimately ends up being 9. And when you add any number to 9, it is that number. So basically, 9 is everything or 9 is nothing. And Vishnu, the principle that sustains the world, if you look at Bhagavad Gita, he says, I'm this and 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 I'm this, I'm everything. And what is Shiva saying? I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not this. So we are both. We are everything and we are nothing. It's where you want to operate from, conduct yourself from. And then there is the Devi, the Prakriti, which is the body. You're actually here. There is a body, there is a Jiva, that is the Devi. That has 3 states of, that has 5 elements and 3 states of mind: tamas, rajas, and sattva. Tamas is inertia, that ignorance. Rajas is arrogance, action. Sattva is clarity, devatas, the ability to know the truth. So these 5 elements plus the 3 gunas is the Devi, the Prakriti. And Shiva is, I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not this. And Vishnu is, I'm this and this and this and this and this. I'm everything. And Shiva is, I'm nothing. So when the universe is created, it is Vishnu principle. When it goes back, it is Shiva principle. And in between is Devi, Prakriti.
Neeta, this, I just realized while you were telling all this that we know the origin of Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, and the purpose for their being, for their presence. I don't know how Indra evolved and what is his purpose in the, not now, but maybe I'd love to learn more about Indra's role.
It's a beautiful symbolism, but it'll take a long time. If I rush through it, you won't understand, and we don't have enough time, but definitely I'll address it one of the time. Indra is, there is no one Indra. Anybody who masters his indriyas, his sense organs, there are 10 sense organs, 5 organs of perception and 5 organs of action is called an Indra. So anybody, and that is why Indrajit could even overcome that. And Indra is perpetually jealous of anybody who does any kind of meditation, if you look at the Puranas, because, you know, he's so worried that he'll lose his lordship. Our ego is so worried. Oh, I have done this, but what if somebody else becomes as powerful as me? So Indra is mastery over the senses. And devatas, we'll talk some other time, are not gods out there. These are our sense organs, our ability to perceive, to know the truth. And Indra is the lord of that. Anybody who has mastered all the indriyas, all the senses, will become an Indra.
This last question.
Yeah, sorry.
Somebody went ahead, so I just stopped.
Anybody had a question or?
No, I just said thank you, Neeta. That was awesome.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, Janu, tell me.
When you were talking about the Dasagrivascha Darpaha, you mentioned about the Manas, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankar, and Jivatma, the 5 things. But then you also mentioned Kama, Krodha, Lobha.
There are different interpretations. See, the beauty about these Hindu Vedanta philosophies, they don't say this is it. Any which way you can slice it. Any which way. They will give you 10 different ways of looking at it. And just when you think you've understood, you will be given another archetype that will topple everything. And then you'll get back. Because the density of information is huge. So it doesn't really matter at this point. You take any one of these archetypes and say, okay, I'm going to work on these Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, you'll get there. Or you say, I'm going to, it represents the Vedas and the Shastras. That means what? All it's saying is, don't make your intellect so big, fat-headed by this pride of knowledge, because you cannot get in connection, contact that Supreme Self through your logic and analysis and mind and intellect. You have to go beyond it, because it is beyond that. You know, the Om says the waking state, the dream state, and the deep sleep state. These are the 3 states of mind: waking, dream, and deep sleep. Chitta is the 4th state. Beyond that is that supreme consciousness we're talking about. And that is a deep Vedantic concept. Let's not bring it here, because it'll be very, those who are not into it will find it very confusing. Yeah, Abha?
Do we have any action item for this week?
Yes, I'm glad you reminded, because I would have forgotten. So we went through Anima, Mahima, Garima. Today is Laghima. And Laghima is the ability to be light. So Hanumanji could just fly off, into the air and fly, that ability to be light. How does that translate into our life? When do you feel light? when you let go of things. So this week, you're going to work on letting go of physical objects that you have not used for at least 1 year, maybe even 6 months. And more importantly, letting go of kinds of thoughts that I'm not good enough, that I'm not beautiful enough, I'm not loved enough, I'm not intelligent enough, I don't have this, I don't have that, I'm not this, I'm not that. Letting go. First of all, that Lakshmana Pranadata, work on Lakshmana Pranadata. Revive and rejuvenate your awareness. Every night, 5 minutes, order your thoughts to march past you and detect negative, 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 negative. Then you negate it, substitute it with the exact opposite. I'm not good looking enough, I'm beautiful and perfect. I'm not smart enough, I'm extremely smart. I'm not powerful enough, I am an infinite soul and extremely powerful. So whatever it is, you negate it. So that one, letting go of your thought process and letting go physically. When you declutter, miracles start happening in your life.
Beautiful.
And this is called what?
Laghima.
Laghima. Thank you.
And today we finished the the Hanuman Dwadasanam. Next 3 sessions we will do Hanuman Ashtakam, the 8 verses dedicated to Hanuman as the destroyer of suffering and misery and all that. Somebody who helps us. And we will drop. In the beginning we talked. We're not going to in these 7 sessions do Hanuman Chalisa. It's just not possible. And any other question do I have? I mean points? Nothing really, unless you want to ask anything, we can bring it to an end this session. Om Purnamadam Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.